What? Are we rolling? Can they hear us? Let's check. Roxanne, you don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. Roxanne. Oh, we just lost viewers. Oh no, 3 more subs just... Pika, what a bad idea. Hi there, welcome back once again. It is time for the Comics Coffee Table. Oh, I need more coffee. Got a little in here. It's still good. Grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today. It is time, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daily, where we like to get together and talk about our hobby, comic books. We love hanging out at our comics coffee table, talking about comic books. I swear, I declare, I'm mobbed by movies. I just actually saw. Don't mean to throw. I'm just gonna go right into it. Yeah, I watched Midsummer from 2019, the Ari Aster movie. Ari Aster. I just never watched this before it was suggested by a friend. I might have had a preconceived notion from my boom mic operator and cameraman, who kind of like laid into it a couple of years ago on a legendary hot take video, and I ended up enjoying the hell out of it. I'm gonna watch it again. I got it on I got it for $5 through the online supply chain, with a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a digital. And I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie again, and I'm gonna watch Hereditary as well, the other movie he did. And he's got a new movie out called Beau is Afraid, starring Joaquin Phoenix. And I'm like, okay, I'm in for this. So hey, there's a solid movie rec from Reverend Sully. Reverend Sully's Movie Hut. Yeah, so I did used to work at a video store when I was a teenager in high school. So just my living room looks like a video store. Shelves of movies, Blu-rays, and DVDs. I love it. Talk about personal curation. It's just like slightly haphazard, slightly by alphabetical, slightly by director or Criterion or samurai movies, and then there's the Star Wars shelf, then there's the superhero shelf, and how are you doing today? Thank you so much. It's Sunday, and you know what Sunday means? It means it's new release review day. We got 3. Take 3, please. Oof. Talk about movies. We're gonna get right into it. And because I only got 2 at the comic book shop, and the other one came in the mail as a crowdfunder. I was really pleased. It's really awesome. But let's get to it, and then we're gonna bag. What we do on this show is we rebag, reboard, and rebox. We're doing that to my entire collection, and I go to the comic book shop on every Wednesday now. I'm picking up new funny books. And yeah, I got 2 Marvel magazines this week. No DC books. DC's in the middle of an event. The Night Terrors. KNIGHT Night Terrors. So yeah, I'm staying far away from that. I'm struggling for space in my current collection. I don't dude. That was the last count. That was 46, and they haven't even started throwing in one-shots yet. And I mean, just the entire, it's line wide. It's I hope it works. Hey, it's selling, and gee, the proof of the pudding is on the plate. Therefore, it's on the shelf at your LCS. I wonder if it will collect well too. How it's going to collect afterwards. Just the Marvel system now, maybe. DC's getting a bit more Marvel-esque over the time. I got 2 new releases. Yeah, let's just get to it. I got Ann Nesenti's Captain Marvel Dark Tempest. Paolo Villanelli is the artist. And then it goes to Java Tartaglia, who is the color artist. And then there's VC's Ariana Maher is the letterer. And I don't want to. I'm going to try not to sound negative, like hostile towards the creators. I mean, I don't think that's going to do any good. I'm beginning to really appreciate why I dislike digital art. And here's like some examples of why. It's a decent story. Annie Nassetti is a very good storyteller. I got this, hey, I got the George Perez cover. Yeah, so that's kind of cool in its own. See, then we got Marvel, my Captain Marvel, and we've got Warbird, Carol Danvers, the original Ms. Marvel, back in the day. I mean, I loved her '70s outfit too, but the Warbird outfit is outstanding, and but it's an interesting, simple story told. We open up in her hometown, up in Harpswell Sound, Maine, where they say "yeah," and things like that. So yeah, Maine. I'm from Massachusetts. It's right. It's down. You take take the down easter. You go down up Maine, something like that. But I mean, I honestly think one of the worst things about the character of Carol Danvers in the past decade or so is just her unlikability. I get it. Modern Carol Danvers is a very well engineered feminist icon by gender studies people who were college graduates who really believe in that, and I don't disagree with feminism. Feminism has done wonderful things for Western women. I mean, and of course, there's still, a long ways to go. I mean, we got the right to vote. That's only that's 104 years old now, 103 years old, something like that. For suffrage, women's suffrage. I mean, I understand with the just. Maybe now is the time to make change and some lasting change. I get it, sure. But I guess there's a whole, for me personally, like I was raised by second wave feminists in the 70s, independent, strong Irish women. So there's like, there's parts of it I don't buy. And I think one of them is the unlikability. I mean, you don't have to be liked to be respected. That's just totally true. You don't have to be liked to be a warrior or to be a leader, So by now, Carol is the captain of the Avengers, and she's patched things up enough with Tony that they're in speaking terms and they can joke. And they were fighting in Civil War II apparently. Yeah, I mean, but this is just. I mean, oh gosh, and it just popped. Holy shit, I didn't even pull that hard. You guys, you just saw that happen. What a weak-ass fucking engineered comic book. I mean, oh man. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, this is a $4.99 cover price with a variant. And, yeah, see how it goes, 011, and that's 2. That means it's the first variant cover. And that's, first printing. Well, we all saw that happen. All right, another disappointment for this. With another, extra thick Marvel book. Like, the same thing happened to me with Avengers Axe Judgment Day #1. I mean, the cover fell off of that one. I mean, but, look, it's weird. It's, this is it gives you an info dump. But yeah, that just burst its staple. But yeah, the credits page is dead center, which is usually primo real estate or where you would put in an amazing 2-page splash page, like a huge splash page. That's and we got Nitro, and he just hates Carol. He's not a He's just a bad guy with a mat on for the Captain's Marvel. I said it like that on purpose. It's not the Captain Marvels, it's the Captain's Marvel. He's the one that ended up killing Marvel with all the radiation from being nitro and exploding all the time. And he really doesn't like Carol. Like, like misogyny kind of level, but it's like, But it's just this. Okay, but look at Teen Center, Young Mavericks event today. I mean, that is the lousiest looking signage on a building in New York City. I mean, that is just such weak sauce when it comes to the art. I just paid $4.99 for a book, and it just fell apart under usual conditions. I didn't abuse this book one bit. I didn't roll it up and put it in my back pocket. Not 12 anymore. Well, I did that a couple of times in a couple of years, but hey, I get pleasure out of that. But I mean, and just there's just some panels in here. I'm like, I get it. It's like, oh man, just. Well, I made like one comment about this panel, like how there's like really no line work on like these African American people's hair. There is in previous panels, so I'm not saying it's not all there. I mean, we have a little bit of fade on his sideburn here, but this guy's got like smaller dreads, and there's just no. I don't know. Just like we had something called the Crown Act, and it's about natural hair. I mean, so it's like, I mean, just that's. I mean, it's just, and look at Carol's shadow up here. I mean, I don't know. There's just like there's something just to this light source or just use of they call it CYMK, cyan, yellow, magenta, and K, black. K for black, and key for black, and it's just it doesn't. I don't know. This couldn't have been over quick enough. I think I've talked about it more than I read it. I blew through it pretty quickly, twice, and because I wanted to enjoy it. I found Carol a little bit more likable than usual, because Annie Nocenti, she's like, dude, she's a legend. She X-Men writer and editor. I mean, she edited all those X-Men books that I read in high school, and wrote Daredevil. And those, she had it reminds me that it's not just she's not a great writer. She's a really good Marvel superhero writer, though. Don't have to write great stories every time. You're not going to get a home run on every pitch, but you do get singles and you get base on base, don't you? Exactly. And but yeah, so it's good to support Annie Nocenti. I'm so freaked out that this is wow. That's a Marvel magazine for you, though. They're shabbily produced. I mean, seriously. I mean, they have printed up webtoons for us. I mean, this could have stayed on a digital platform, on a digital medium, and you wouldn't have had to have wasted any paper or staples or production or shipping or shelf space at your LCS that they have to, buy to resell to us, and I don't know. I just think this is, oh man, this is a kind of a terrible comic book. Like I said, the story's all right, but and then just having, oh man. On the other side, we have Clobberin' Time number 5 of 5. Steve Scroce, Brian Valenza. This is really fun. It's the last chapter in our little 5-issue story here of this over the top great art. Now this is the opposite of an attempt, like the Young Guns, like the page rates that you get for artists these days. I mean, I heard one of the comics the crowdfunding crowds saying that they went to a con and they ran into this guy, and he's like, like he gets so much, he lives off of his commissions. About just he's an old guy, older guy, and everyone knows him, and done a lot of work for a lot of comics, and that he gets so much money, he earns so much doing commissions that it just like he couldn't take a page rate from DC or Marvel. He'd be losing money for the amount of art, so it's like, oh, there's like, but that was an admission between comics pros, seriously, that's just really interesting. But yeah, this was a fun magazine, fun comic book. And but like I keep saying, yeah, all of these house ads. Look, yeah, like I said about the watch. Look, it's a Citizen's watch, but it's Star Wars, which is Disney, and Disney is Marvel. But this was fun, because the best part about it was it reminds me of an old comic book I grew up with. See, Marvel had 2 team-up books. One was Marvel Team Up with Spider-Man, and the other one was Marvel's 2-in-1 with the Thing. And Thing would be on a buddy. It was just the original buddy cop show, and I found it really charming. It really captured that spirit of Marvel's 2-in-1 starring the Thing. I'm very grateful for this. I hope it goes on. Maybe we can start a write-in campaign, like old-fashioned, and be like, we want our clobbering time. Bring us back Marvel 2-in-1 starring the Thing. This works. I mean, if, who knows what Mr. Scroachy's up to, but you know what I mean? Yet, wouldn't that be great? At the end of it, we're led, hey, Ben Grimm's adventure continues in the next issue of Fantastic Four. Hey, look, jump into it. Universal. Yeah. That Disney, and this is a really, weird place to think, hey, this same bullpen bulletins present things over here in the Marvel. Okay, you open your funny book. You open our funny book. We're reading our story, and what the hell? What is this? This is like 4 pages in. So this one is like 1 page in, and this one's like 4 pages in. Like again, like this kind of copy. This kind of this page, this is an important part of your comic book page. It's where our letter page went and our checklist page went. And this goes at the end of the book. Doesn't it not? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section. But it's just fun, over the top, and it shows like how much heart. That's a splash page, dude. This is fun. I mean, I don't know if my friend Clobber in Time, Mike Alonso, would like this or not. He doesn't like many new comic books, but I'm going to suggest this to him because Ben Grimm's his favorite. And Ben Grimm is done right here. Not done wrong one bit. I love it. This just, and yeah, see, all house ads. Look, Spider-Man number 11, The Secret History of Spider-Boy. Nah, I'm not just, who cares? Oh, I have friends that are really, still into Spider-Man. I'm just like, I come back and forth with that over the years. Yeah, and the last ad, Death of the Venomverse. When was the last time we saw junk food or a video game ad? I keep coming back to that. So it's like, comics always knew who they were selling to. Now, for some strange reason, they don't. I'm going to buy the occasional funny book, but I ain't buying that notion. So yeah, those were the 2 magazines the 2 comics we got this week. It was a light week. There were like 6 of those DC Night Terrors out. Not nibbling. I'm not interested. I don't care how cute the covers are. The variant covers, you could be 3D holographic with black light, prism effect, and like maybe even some LED lights and shit. No, I ain't nibbling. No. No thanks. I'm passing. This was fun. All right, I got this in the mail. I funded this a few months back, And this is from the legendary Billy Tucci of She. It's a sequel to something he did a long time ago, called Zombie Sama, and this is a $25 comic book. Let's see. Here's its indicia. Yeah. So here we go. Zombie Sama, Dorm of the Dead. Fun stuff. I'm sorry I didn't mean to spoil you at the last page. I haven't even seen the last page yet. I haven't finished it yet. I've read over half of it. This is great fun. This is just real art. I mean, look at those. Those are real onomatopoeia. The artist was kind enough to draw those sound effects for you because he loves you. He wants those. That's got organic line to it. I mean, it's over the top. Those are zombies. Don't worry, Pika. No, it's okay. He's afraid of zombie Pokemon at night. Like when the lights. Don't say it, please. He gets really upset. And remember when Pikachu's tears brought Ash back from the dead in the movie? How do you know about that, Sully? Shut up! But this is great. Yeah, no ads. It doesn't need it. It's all story, and it's wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, this is Dorm of the Dead. This is copyrighted 2005, and this is I wasn't tuned into the first one. So, but I was happy to get this one because also this has an Irene Strakalski variant cover. That's what sold me. I got sold on a cover. I like Irene Strakalski. She does digital art. Ain't nothing wrong with this. This got heart and soul in it. A lot of blood and guts too. She's really good at that and good at drawing. Fantasy. I love Rainey's art. Rainey's great. I've backed Fiendish 2. I kicked over Fiendish 1 to a 14-year-old girl, and I am waiting to hear back. One of my best friend's teenage daughter, the best friend who gave me this book over 2 decades ago, about 2 decades ago, yeah. And the book's older than the kid, but the kid's getting older now. So I'm like, here, read this. Tell me what you think. This is Fiendish by Irene Strakalski, and I think you're gonna like it. She likes that kind of stuff. And I'm waiting to hear back. But yeah, Irene does everything digital. I mean, she does, and she makes it work. I mean, why can't you? Yeah, and it comes with cards. I like the cards. I like these cards because they're fun. So I got the Rini card. Look at it, yeah. And the Dan Mendoza card. This was the other variant cover. And they're baseball cards. That's it. And they just, you put them into one of those Mylar sleeve things. And it came with a little poster too, which is cool. So I'm using it as the backing board for my funny book. I still have to finish it. But it's really fun. And it's just what it's zaniness, and it's 80s horror movie level kind of just goofiness, romance, drama, but it's their second go with the zombies, zombie stories, man, huh? They're like vampire stories and werewolf stories. I mean, I love vampire stories, but I do like the occasional zombie story. And this is fun, and I'm looking forward to finishing this up. Awesome, yes. I'm sorry. We didn't play What's in the Bag today, because look at this ratty bag. All right, I'm getting a new bag next week. I've recycled this bag several times. This bag cost an additional 10 cents But a local ordinance. It's a city of Somerville thing, where Somerville's right next door to Cambridge, which is across the river from Boston. So it's like but don't worry, I literally grew up in Boston, South Boston. I'm real Bostonian. It's not like you talk to some kid and you're like, hey, you're from Boston. Oh, what part? Like, oh, I'm from Brockton. Like, get out of here. They can say that. I'm just busting balls. Awesome. And cheers to you. I hope you're having a great Sunday. I hope you're feeling blessed. And I am blessed and grateful for all of you, for the viewers, for the people that contribute to the conversation, this ongoing comic book shop style conversation. I love it. I'm glad that you tune in and you stuck with it, and I'm glad I stuck with it too. Making daily, like I said, making daily contents. It just occasionally it gets to feel like a grind, and that's. But then you turn on the lights, you turn on the camera. Let's start the show. The show goes on, and it just happens. We start talking, at our comics coffee table. We just hang out and talk about stuff. I was asked a question in the chat. Who are my 10 favorite current artists? That's a good question. I have to think about that and write it down. I've been mulling it over. I need to give that some better, but my top 5 current favorite artists. I got to say, Irene Strakowski is one of them. Seriously. I mean, I got to think for Polish girls. I got to think for Chinese girls, and she's from Taiwan. And she's half Polish and half Taiwanese, and she's really talented and a really nice girl. And what? No, I'm just, no, thank you. I'm not simping on Rini. I'm just kidding. It's cute. I mean, like, she's adorable, man. She's like, I watch these live streams on the YouTubes with these these crowdfunding comics creators who are the outlaws of the outlaws of comic book creators. Like, oh, you dastardly deeds. I'm like, what? It's like sports radio over there. It means wrestling. It's pretty fun. But and they make pretty damn good comic books. So a lot of my newer, okay, 2 of them come from that. Because I'm not going to say Ethan or Billy, because they're I've known them for like decades, like as their art goes. But let's see, I would definitely say like new voices out there, new art. The 2 digital artists that make sense to me visually, that appeal to me, that my eye finds pleasing, that are pleasing to my senses, would be Irene Strakowski and Per Berg, the artist known as Narwhal. And and Narwhal does really interesting work, especially light source, shading, mood, all with a cartoony feel to it. Yet, there's a gravity to his characters. It's like a puppeteer that knows how to get the faces just right with it's weird, the emotive quality that you can put into something that's a little cartoony. And I just find his work fascinating, and I'm very happy to be tuned into him. Narwhal, yeah, he does a lot of work with your boy Zach, Richard Meyer. Whoa, sorry if I mention his name, I'm gonna get on the bad list. I already am on the bad list. I'm one of Wes's. Seriously. Oh no, that should not make me bad, but it might explain some of the blocks from creators. It's like, oh, this guy's on Wes's show and he has controversial hot takes. I agree with them most of the time. I don't have to agree with them all the time. Heck, you should have saw us talk about Flash last week. You know what I mean? Oh, just yesterday, actually. And I can give you 5 reasons off the top of my head why I like the Flash movie. And he was like, really? Like, go for it. I'm like, okay. The pop music soundtrack, and with the kind of, I get it. Sure, Memberberry's score notes, musical cues, the Elfman stuff. But I really liked that stuff. I thought it was funny. And then we got to, argue about the nature of the baby scene a bit more. And I'm like, but it gets explained in the dialogues. I got the whole thing of, like, Roger Rabbit and the whole Baby Herman, calamity opening. And the whole thing is just, like, zany antics to save the baby. And everything ends up okay. That's the whole thing. Everything ends up okay. And it's just I just don't think it was about threatening imaginary infants and putting I don't think of the idea. I think the idea was benign. If the joke didn't work for you, I get that, but that scene's got a lot of hate and a lot of scrutiny because of Barry using a microwave, and it was in air. It couldn't have cooked the baby. I mean, the whole thing with the timer is independent of a power source. Like, if you have, like, an older microwave, my toaster oven does, like, and I'll just tick 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 tick. So yeah, and it was just stupid. But I laughed a lot, and thank you. The turkey's done, and overall, I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to say that to the gang, and because everyone is pretty much like, the Flash flopped, and he goes, sure, the Flash flopped, but it doesn't make it a terrible movie. I mean, if you think it was a terrible movie, sure, you got every right to say, yeah, I think the Flash was terrible. The CGI, like, Ezra Miller is, like, so annoying, and now it's ×2. Just the member berries and all this, but, like, I accept all that, yeah, sure, and let it wash over me. And I will bend like a reed in the wind. We were supposed to bag board and some new comics, because I got a stack of funny books. Oops. Not My Faves, 2003. Remember this one? What's going in this? Well, I'm telling you right now, Captain Marvel's going in this. You're not getting a bag and a board. It's not quite the bag of shame. Where's the bag of shame? To the bag of shame. That is the bag of shame. You get the bag of shame. But something might dethrone you. You never know, Exo-Man of War. You never know. Oh, boy. Let's see. Yeah, I got so many new comic books in here that I have just, like... And this is how you get spine roll, moron. You need to do something about that. ASAP, mofo. Oh, wow. Oh, this is where your spending money goes. Yeah. I gotta rebag all of these. Well, I have to bag them. I mean, they're brand new. See the dings from here, can't you? Now, don't give me a hard time. That's his job. Thank you so very much. It's New Release Sunday. Sorry, it was a light week. I mean, that's all we got for today. 2 new comic books. One I really didn't like, and one, well, here's to hoping that there's, more of that in the future. I mean, seriously, Clobbering Time by Steve Scroce was fun. It's my pick of the week. You pick it, you flick it, right? Don't be a goober. Oh, that's a booger joke. You can pick your nose. You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you shouldn't pick your friend's nose, right? Oh, you should try to pick your nose with your toes. If you can, then you got something to brag about. You're limber. You do yoga. Here, we've bagged. We've bored. We're going into the box now. Aha! We've fulfilled the show. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. We've been talking about... Ooh, God bless you guys. I live down the street from a firehouse. And get back home safely, boys and girls. Hope everything's okay. That's all we got for today. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. We talk about cooking a lot. I'm a professional chef. We talk about spirituality. I'm an ordained minister. And there's lots to like here, so stick around. Thank you. God bless. Namaste. Good luck, and we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.